Composing Gloves here, and today we will be looking at the one chord. This is the most important chord because when we choose to use a chord progression, we choose a scale, some sort of a key, and that key gives us some sort of a most important note or a hierarchy in Western harmony, you know. And when we do that, we also select some chords which will give us a most important chord, and for us right now that most important chord is the one chord. It is home base. It is the key you're moving in. It is the big lasagna. So let's look at this. So what do you mean? Well, if you recall back to our diatonic keys, remember that with the 1, 2, the 3. Well, the 1, so if we're moving, like for example right now, let's make a C major scale. Now it's important to remember that you could start on some other chord. You could start in some other key, even though the key signature is C major. We could be moving in C minor or A minor or C major. And there's a variety of other weird things that we could do. But for the most part, right now, we're just going to be moving in C. So you remember this discussion, right? Where we did the diatonic chords. Yeah, that was fun. I remember that. I remember it. And we have this one chord. This is the most important chord. If we're for C major, we're going to be moving. This is going to be our most important chord because it focuses all its energy down to the C. It declares that we are in C major. Like, this is it. And so there's a number of things we could do to change this via chord progressions, which we'll get to later. But we need to start simple. So here we've got a 1, and it's diatonic. So it has to be, our one chord will be diatonic. Well, it doesn't have to be if you add extensions and alterations and stuff. But things are gonna usually want to pull to here. They're gonna want to. If you follow the rules, they're gonna pull back to 1. And there's a variety of ways you can accomplish this. But the main idea right now, I just want you to have your attention on this one chord. Things pull this one. For example, let me load up a piano really quick so I can play a piano for you. FO keys. This will do. Junk. It's in the other one that's recording my audio. I don't like to load up stuff because then the audio blips. All right. Well, I'm just going to forget that right now, but check this out. So we can have, these are actually types of cadences, but we can notice something pretty simply right here. So if we start right here, that pulls very nicely. It's very, you know, nice. I need a better word than nice. Now let's enter note input mode here and make this a G major without the crazy alteration on it. With the add. Oh yeah. So now this is the strongest pull you can get. This is a 5-1. But we're just looking at the 1. But I just want to show you that things pull to the 1. They're going to want to go over there. They're friends. It's like, oh, yeah, Donna. That one sounds the most nice for a variety of reasons. Now, the one chord. So this is our one chord. And as we know, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we refer to them as chords now diatonically. And it really becomes quite the thing. But the one chord is nice because of the sound design reasons I also told you earlier. One reason why we just naturally like the C major chord, well, not just the C major, but any major chord, is the result that the fundamental, the next harmonic past the fundamental is I believe it's the 5th, and then the 3rd above the octave. So you have an octave and a 3rd, so it'd be a 10th, and then a major 10th and a perfect 5th. And so that forms the fundamental progression. If you look at here, that's what we got going on. We talked about this in the major triad, but this lends itself even more. And so we're also going to be talking about things like consonance and dissonance. Consonants are things that to your ear are generally quite nice sounding, pleasant, but and dissonance are generally things that are not. However, sort of a skewed way to talk about it because dissonance can sometimes sound amazingly beautiful. It's like the thing some pieces are based on is the use of dissonance, being able to drive all that tension. It could just sound so like majestic. A good example of one is a Sanctuary by Frank Kelly. You listen for examples of dissonance because it's very consonant, but it's even more consonant because he has this big moving part. Like it's really, really dissonant. It's like amazing. And then it just releases. It's so good. So yeah, go look it up on YouTube. I played that piece when I was in Winds Ensemble, and we had people, like, we made people cry in the audience. We had the director crying when we played it. Like it's a really emotional experience when you're there in life. I was playing the clarinet, so I couldn't really cry, but man, you could you could feel it when you have a band that plays really well and you get a piece like that. It's like a very rewarding experience. So if you have any questions about the one chord, let me know. Hopefully you just get the idea that it comes to the root. I know I could sum these things up in one sentence, but the idea is I want you to be extra aware of what we're shooting for, okay? Or at least some of the objects or goals we're going to have. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, subscribe and have a blessed day. This is sequencing. So that's all being done in Harmor, completely inside Harmor. And then, which shouldn't be a shock. And then over here we have, I am automating the clipping thing to create an interesting sort of filter type deal. It's different in the way it goes about it.